Welcome back to the broadcast. Well, I almost said broadcast. I don't know why, but all the same, we are here, and this is one that you were eagerly waiting for. Unfortunately, we come in a little bit late, but all the same, we'll try our level best capture as much as we can that would equally be of great importance to you. We are expounding a conversation that we had the last time we had Daktari here, that is Dr.Inyathio Kibe. That is in regards to the male reproductive system, and what are the troubles that people face. A couple of questions having come from you, and of course we just say we pick it up from where we had left it, because we realized that while we were answering questions, we left a couple of issues that we had planned to address and attended to, and therefore we say it's not too late. We are here to make sure that we expound some more on that, and the key things that we'll be looking at are, the organs that are responsible for this system of the male, gender. Importantly, we look at erectile dysfunction, the aspect of low libido, whether they are one and the same. Daktari will make us learn and understand that. And what are some of the remedies to these difficulties that very many men will tell you they are going through at this point in time. Above everything, the blue pill, which is one of the biggest questions that will always pop up. Whether it is important to use it, if it is not important, what are the side effects and why should we avoid it? And what should we take, as a replacement of the same, as opposed to going this direction? Daktari, good to have you.
I'm also happy, a little bit late.
It's okay, it happens. It's a Monday, sometimes things can be
Monday
bad.
Blues.
Yes, but
Monday yellows.
Yellows, yes, it is. Purples.
Purples. Yes, Linda. What did you say? What did you want me to discuss?
Like we said,
male reproductive system.
Yes, the organs and all that.
The organs, and what happens when they go wrong.
Yes.
And something goes wrong with the organs, rather.
Right.
Good, but they are obvious, the male is the most, is it a dominant gender?
Yes.
And so everybody knows there is the external genitalia. The external genitalia is what we can see.
Okay.
And it's still morning, so I don't know what to call them. The viazis, the hanging, those viazi or potatoes that are hanging. Two of them, one is bigger than the other. It
should be that. By the way, remember that the cherry said that. It's very important.
And they should hang because they must be at least 3 to 4 degrees lower in temperature for the process of spermatogenesis to take place. Spermatogenesis is the manufacture of sperms, which are there. And there is a hormone called testosterone, is the main hormone that makes a man and a woman a woman. Although, even you have a little bit of testosterone.
All right.
Just like I have a little bit of estrogens.
Okay.
So we share. It's only that yours are fewer than mine in as far as the hormones are concerned. And internally, as we leave allow me to use the word ball. So ball is football. Ball could be,
we understand.
game balls. Now we move to the organ as such. The organ that is there's the glans penis, and next to it is what the people usually call the shaft. Then internally, especially underneath the shaft, is corpus spongiosum. This is the area that has blood vessels, and these blood vessels allow for the engorgement and therefore a stiff erection. And this is what bothers most men, when they cannot get a stiff erection. Sometimes they cannot get a stiff erection long enough to satisfy themselves and to satisfy their partners. And then there is internally, there is the what we call the prostate gland. The prostate gland is immediately below the urinary bladder, and they are connected. And the use of the prostate gland and the function of the prostate gland is, number one, to make sure that it controls the flow of urine, especially during the act of marriage. No man is supposed to pass water or urine during the sex act, okay?
All right.
So it is that gland that stops the flow of urine during the act. And it also has a function of diluting, making the otherwise thick male semen to become thin and to be able to ejaculate.
All right.
And there is a duct, we call it a duct, it's like a jet, which now will, once it is diluted, it just, when you reach the climax, it pushes out at great speed. It's great speed because we want the semen, including the sperms, to go long distance. For a microscopic cell, it will go a long distance via the external genitalia of a woman to the internal genitalia, almost 3 feet away. Then there is a place we call the seminal-vesicle. That is the storage, and every man has 2 of them, of course. During our early days when we are young, men have wet dreams when that thing fills up. When it fills up, then he has to discharge, and this is the reason for wet dreams. You also mentioned about what can go wrong, what can happen. Before that, probably, you asked me, what is the difference between low libido per se and erectile dysfunction?
Yes.
Low libido is when, for whatever reason, everything has gone down. Sometimes it's not just an erectile dysfunction, is low libido is wider. You know, some people will have no erectile dysfunction, but they don't want. The desire is just not there.
Okay.
You see, that is low libido, not necessarily
Erectile
dysfunction.
Okay.
Then low libido could be mostly psychosocial also. Some men, when they notice the bedroom is dirty, they are scattered underclothes all over, especially women underclothes, there is the baby, urinated on the bed.
All right.
And the way he left the bed sheets in the morning is not made, and he feels or, and I want to stress on this one as a psychosocial problem, when you have a nagging partner, she's talking to you about the loans you took, she's talking about the fridge she wants to buy, she's talking about the car loan, she's talking about you promised that you'd make a new house. Then again, the man just, and especially men who are in their middle ages, we call this middle age crisis, middle life crisis. This is when the man wants, number one, he wants to build a house, he wants also to buy a new car, he wants to make his children go to the best of schools. He wants probably, his relatives are pushing him for school fees. The church is pushing him for harambe. The school is...
Can they avoid this? Can they be alive to the fact that this could be causing, that aspect of not erectile dysfunction? He said it's low libido, yes. And can they choose to just let that off their mind for a moment? And
yes, it is possible, and that's why I think TV47 is doing a good job, because you are going where they are, you are going to their problem.
Yes.
And once somebody knows something, when somebody knows what is ailing him, that probably my mother wants a cow, and my grandmother wants me to build a toilet for her. My brother, who drinks a lot, the child got 350 max, and he wants me to pay. The minute he knows this, he avoids them. The best thing is cut some of these wagons.
Okay.
Somebody, when I go home, some young men will come and tell me, you are like my father, buy me choma, my lips, choma, nipe kitu. Some of them are my classmates when I was in school, and they say, we were circumcised on the same day. Give me some money for that reason. So cut some of these wagons. Then, because they will definitely end up reducing your activity in your marriage.
All right.
Now, there is also the aspect of diet. Men think that by eating nyama choma, barbecued meat, and 3 or 4 beers, the frothy stuff, or some of them, as they claim, the the ladder of the class. They start taking that fine the whiskies. And I must tell them that sometimes the whiskies and the wines and I don't know, the intoxicating drinks, alcoholic drinks and drugs. Some people go and do shisha, some people go and do mira, some people go and do diazepam, Valium, some people do, you know, these are liars. They are intruders. Alcohol will tell you, Linda, that you are very rich, that you are the richest girl in the estate. Alcohol is telling you, fight. You can be the biggest fighter. You can beat all men. You know. Alcohol is a liar. You know, drugs, dawa za kulevya, they are all liars. They will tell you lies. And they will even tell you lies about your bedroom. They will tell you, you perform better when you take the frothy stuff. Nonsense. In fact...
Is it not so?
Science has told us absolutely not just science, literature. And I quoted last time that even Shakespeare said, it excites you, it makes you, it cheats you that you are a performer. But it takes away the action. When you go there, you have an erectile dysfunction. Let us now go to...
Hold it right there. Let's take a short break. Okay. I know it's very fast, but we can take a quick one and then come back.
All right, anytime.
All right, thank you.
Wondering what next in a crowded, confused and uncertain career market after KCSE? Worry no more. tv47, the fastest growing youth targeted TV station across the 47 counties, brings you an entire month of career options and choice opportunities across all the leading universities and TVET institutions. We have put together a rich group of experts who will guide you through your career aspirations throughout the month of May. This will climax with a virtual career fair scheduled for the 28th of May at the University of Nairobi Auditorium. All relevant stakeholders are invited to reserve a seat via david.katiku@tv47.co.ke or careersfair@tv47.co.ke on 0791 999 883.
New Blue Band peanut butter. Made with 100% pure peanuts and a good source of omega-6. Grow healthy and happy kids with New Blue Band peanut butter.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku. Pata offers zote mahali pamoja ili uongeze zaidi, utume SMS zaidi na ubrowse zaidi.
Wewe usijali. Tuma namba ya kila supplier kwa hiyo soko. Enda job nitaongea na kila mmoja wao.
Very good. Piga *444 # utunukiwe Credo double.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku.
Hey, it's not what you're thinking. It's a cup of coffee. Coffee, movie. Together, coffee with movie. Every Sunday, 8 p.m. on TV47, where we bring you interesting, enticing people. Well, we've concentrated on musicians.
Yeah.
Producers.
So now I manage, because talent management and events management, I think was my passion.
Right about now, we want to go beyond to the counties and to other countries. I'll see you. Let the sun stand still like Joshua times for 3 hours, but this time for only 1 hour. We bring you coffee with movie. Interesting, enticing guests. I'll see you. Tunaweza anza tuna Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, twende Uganda, Magufuli Land, TZ, you never know. It is coffee with movie. Jua unaweza enda sasa.
Okay.
Before the markets open, farmers begin their day, each with the desire to produce the best. But how can they increase the numbers, maintain the standards,
Aitoi ile garlic inafaa itoi, that standard garlic.
reduce the cost,
We spread our risk.
and yet remain the best? Kilimo Diaries, every Sunday when the clock hits 7:30 p.m. The story continues to unfold. The race to win Abel's heart continues.
The difference is in the taste.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Still with me, Dr. Ignatius Kibe. We delved deep into the conversation on, the reproductive system, especially on the male gender, and we were at that point where we were looking at the difference between the erectile dysfunction and low libido, in what most of the people would consider as one and the same. As Dr. would rightfully put it, there's a huge difference as to that, and there are triggers to the same, and therefore we learn of the triggers and the remedies, and we also look at the lifestyle aspects, the way we live our lives, the things that we do, the things that we partake, the activities that we engage ourselves in, the things that we watch, and how they hugely impact on our systems. To you, Dr.
Yeah, thank you very much. And getting back, I was at the point of alcohol and drug abuse.
Yes.
Alcohol is the biggest abused drug. Of course, there are several others, like we mentioned, starting from the soft drugs to the hard drugs, the cocaines and the morphines. And the transition is usually very fast. You start with the alcohol probably, and go to probably Mira, which is also a drug, Andrews, and the effect is it's a stimulant, it's a central nervous stimulant. We have it's like an amphetamine. The others that are called speed amphetamines, which will make the person wake up. And they are dangerous. They are very bad when it comes to the act in the bedroom. Then there are other drugs that completely knock off the person, because they, in fact, like alcohol, like cocaine, they directly interfere with production of sperms. You get lower quality sperms and lower quantity sperms with alcohol, especially those who overindulge. And you've heard the stories that these days he doesn't even know the bed. You cannot differentiate between the bed and under the bed. The wife is there, she doesn't feel her. So drugs is an aspect. I went to a diet, and I was telling you that for sperms to be built, for sperms, let me use the word spermatogenesis, for them, and I told you last time that it takes 72 days to make one single sperm, but every second millions and millions of sperms are being started. And there are certain foods that are very good for formation of sperms. And these particularly do not include meat, especially red meat.
Okay.
But they will include white meat. Fish is very good for making of sperms. Chicken, especially traditional chicken, is very good. Seafoods, for those who are near the coast or are used to eating crabs and those things, seafood is generally very good. Okay. The main reason is they contain a lot of zinc, they contain a lot of cobalt, they contain a lot of proteins, coenzyme Q10, those things. So there are also vegetables like broccoli is first class in manufacture of sperms. So these are the raw materials for making sperms. It's not always a big chunk of red meat. No. Fruits like avocado, I always mention avocado. Fruits, even nyanya, these tomatoes are very good. Fruits like bananas, a man should eat a ripe banana in the morning, a ripe banana in the evening.
Oh.
They have minerals that will assist in manufacture of sperms. And the more sperms you have, of course, the more psychologically and in your brain you'll want somebody of the opposite sex. So diet plays a very big role. I mentioned even spinach, ordinary spinach. It's one of the best foods. Fruits that are not common like pomegranate is very good, and many people know pomegranate.
Yeah.
Fruits like oranges and lemon are first class. They are themselves antioxidants, and they also help. Tea, green tea is number one in antioxidant and also manufacture of male hormones and male strength. So this is generally what we would call up to third far libido. Then we can go to erectile dysfunction. Erectile dysfunction is when this person, he doesn't rise up to the occasion, or he does rise up to the occasion and then collapses when he's on the act. And unfortunately, it's becoming more common. It's coming nearer to the younger generation, and that is particularly because of their behavior and their, like you mentioned just now, you talked about those things that we do, a lifestyle, Lifestyle includes, number one, obesity. Some people eat carbohydrates, and they don't eat the foods that I just mentioned. And the higher, by the way, it's important to say here, it's good to have cholesterol, but it is dangerous to have excessive of cholesterol. So cholesterol is the starting point of making sperms, by the way. Without cholesterol, you cannot manufacture even the egg of a woman. But how much of cholesterol should somebody have? Now, this is the control. And that's why we talk about fish. That's why we talk about eggs. Are very good. In a male, a man should eat an egg in the morning and another egg in the evening. Don't listen to the stories of
too much eggs are not good.
Eat kiasi, too much of everything is bad.
Poisonous indeed.
So eat an egg in the morning, an egg you can boil, you can probably even fry an egg, we have done, and they are very useful to production. The other thing I want to mention in diet, I'm shifting between diet and lifestyle, is nuts. We produce nuts, for example, macadamia, we produce cashew nuts, we produce all the types of nuts, but how much of it do we eat? Except people from probably the western side of the country that eat groundnuts. And by the way, groundnuts are not considered as nuts per se because they are underground. They are dug up from the soil. So the nuts, we want to see things, more people eating more macadamia, more people eating more cashew nuts, almond nuts, and they will become more vigorous.
All right.
We now go to lifestyle, and I want to take this very early chance to mention issues of pornography. It's very bad. The man is becoming, the man watches these pornos and he thinks that what he sees is real. And it's all exaggeration.
Okay.
You see a man in the porno film. You see a man going for half an hour, 1 hour, and a man with a very big organ. It's not normal. These are exaggerations. This is just like acting, where somebody is shooting at me, God forbid, and this pen is preventing the bullet from entering into my heart. This is acting. Is not real. So don't go to those pornography pictures and expect. There are very many young men who write to me, I want my dick to become longish. With due respect, I shouldn't have mentioned the word, but there it goes, because what do? We have to help these young people. Don't imagine, don't follow, don't see the porno videos and imagine that is real. No, it's not. Don't imagine that you can probably go 3-4 times in one go. No, it is not real. It's not possible. You are cheating unless you have taken the blue pill. And I had like you
I
want
mentioned
to
that also. Yes, and the effects of the same. It appears like a very good deal, but then
it is very dangerous. Now the other one is the homosexuality. You know, boys who go with other boys, and with the time there'll be repercussions of homosexuality, and the man also wants to prove he's a man, so he gets married, but he also has a side issue with another man, and it can be very difficult for him to satisfy the wife, because he has to satisfy the other one, the other side. And so the other behavior.
Forms of survival, they say, and I don't know whether I should mention this, but in most cases we've had these cases of, you know, now boys getting into masturbation, because then they're like, if I'm not dating and I don't want to indulge or get involved with these women out there left, right and center, then this is a better option.
No. Masturbation. God made every organ for its own purpose. It's just like imagining that instead of eating food through the mouth, you can eat food through the nose. Masturbation is when you are getting pleasure from your own hands, sometimes with the soap, sometimes probably with some type of oils, and it can ruin your nervous system, because there is a connection between the organ itself and the brain. You see, and once the external genitalia of a woman is made specifically for the external genitalia of a man. It's not your hands. So at the end of it all, you'll find quite often people who masturbate at very early ages, they will have a lot of problems sustaining their families. They will have premature ejaculations. Wengine, some of them will just look at Linda and they shoot. You see, even without doing it. Some of them, they are in a queue in a bank, and he's touched by the booms of the breasts of a lady, and they do it. Some of them in a bus, and they do it on their trousers. So, and when they finally get married, first of all, libido goes down. He gets erectile dysfunctions, and then he just cannot sire, because he loses all his babies in the premature ejaculation, because the two must agree. These two must go on the same journey at the same time, with the same speed, with the same pleasure. And if one is slower than the other, when two go on a journey, they must agree. And you must keep talking about it. Even when you are there, ask her, are you okay? Are you happy? Should I wait? And a little bit of naughty language also, it helps. So people who do masturbation cannot do that. Finally, at the end of it, they lose control, because the nerves the organs are rather too exposed. The dendrites, we call them, are too exposed. And so they no longer enjoy it. So it's part of both libido and erectile dysfunction.
And so erectile dysfunction, how it's on the foods that you eat also that would help that?
Yeah, erectile dysfunction is, incidentally, as a startup, whenever you have erectile dysfunction, be very careful, because quite often those of us who have been there for a long time in this field, we have realized that erectile dysfunction could be the first sign of heart failure.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes, it is. Whenever you notice that you are there with your wife, you are preparing for the act, and you've started, and then it just collapses like the wick of a small lamp ile kijijini. That you are there, you had prepared yourself, and then boom. There is something wrong. And those of us who have read and have practiced for a long time, we first start with an electrocardiograph. We do an echocardiograph, because it could be a sign that your heart is losing.
Is that common, in terms of, a certain age, or it cuts across?
It cuts across, okay. When you, like I mentioned earlier, we find these days boys as young, I call them boys with reservation because I'm gray-haired.
Okay.
As young as 28 years old, as young as 25, 30, 40. They are also getting erectile dysfunction. First of all, because of lifestyle. Secondly, drugs. Thirdly, we mentioned the midlife crisis. Yeah. Fourth, diet. Fifth, drugs. Some drugs, like drugs for high blood pressure, they bring about erectile dysfunction. Okay. Drugs for diabetes, mellitus diabetes type 2, they bring, the disease itself precipitates erectile dysfunction, and the disease, the man has the desire, so it is not, the problem is not libido per se, the problem is now rising to the occasion and sustaining the occasion for 7 minutes. Wow.
Speaking of time is very important, and now we are winding up because we only have 2 minutes to close. Now. Is there a point where time is really a factor in terms of how far you should go, at what time, at what point it's much better?
On average, yes, time. You can't touch somebody for 2 minutes and you say you have done the act. Okay. Again, you cannot go for half an hour.
What time of the day is best?
Time of the day is the quieter the place and the darker.
It makes the time of day
appropriate. Incidentally, mention about time, and I want to mention that sleep also encourages men. Men manufacture more sperms when they are asleep than when they are awake. Okay. So if you can get good hours, 8 hours sleep straight, then you get more sperms. Wow. You see? Time of the day, because you don't want that place. By the way, doctors want to tell these young people that it's not like I always make like it's fun, but don't jump on somebody like is a motorbike that you have stolen and you have started it and you had prepare the person, go to that journey. Time is very important. The ambience, the room, the temperature is very important. The cooler, the better. And again, not so very cold. And then dim light is good. Not a lot of light. Right. And at the same time, not pitch dark, somewhere in between. And then the agreement and, preparing the person. And she also should prepare you. Yeah. And I want to mention before, because you mentioned about time, yes. the E-pill.
Oh, yes.
And on the other side, the blue pill of the man, the sildenafil, the Cialis, those blue pills. What they do is they go to the body, and like I mentioned, they were initially being prepared for the heart diseases. Okay. And they found a side effect which was a stiff erection. And I want to say that they are what we call 5-phosphodiasterase inhibitors. They stop production of and destruction of nitrous oxide. Okay. It's a bit of chemistry there. And when you have a lot of nitrous oxide in the body,
as we close,
the being goes.
And now you think hard. You are at a good position, but
if it stays for longer than normal, like
dangerous.
I've had people who have had it for 4 hours rush to a doctor immediately.
Okay.
And if you have priapism, that is painful erection, run to the doctor. If you realize that your heart is beating fast,
very fast,
or it is beating very slowly, or you have breathing problems, know that there is a problem with the blue pill. It's a topic, and I think
we're going to do it next week. We'll give it like approximately 30 minutes.
30 minutes on the blue pill itself, because it is being misused, it is dangerous. It is true that it has killed.
Wow.
And it is...
As we close, Dr.
It should be prescribed by somebody who has taken your parameters, like the heart rate, like other diseases, like diabetes.
Yeah.
So we must be very careful with the blue pill. The
blue
pill is dangerous.
It is dangerous, and like you rightfully put it, we commit to discuss that the next time we have you on set, about approximately 30 minutes to discuss that. We close it at that, Dr. Thank you so much for finding time. I see you again next week.
Thank you very much. You, our audience, eat well.
Yes.
Sleep.
You save yourself a lot of...
You'll be okay. It's all natural, and it's the best game ever played in the world.
Once again, your number, briefly?
0722